Welcome to the open guard review. We're going to start with some basic open guard techniques. First is the back roll sweep. I got my feet in my opponent's hips, I secure their wrists, and I roll back. Good for aggressive guard players. Next is the tripod sweep. I got one foot in the hip, I'm securing that ankle, got a butterfly hook in the other knee, and I push, pulling myself up with their wrist. In no-gi, you can do this as well, you just won't have the wrist control to help pull you up to side control. Next is a Toreando pass. I got a grip at my opponent's knees, and I roll to my side as I throw the knees to the other side. A step to the side control or all the way around for far side control. Toreando to knee on belly. It's much easier sometimes just to slide your knee in to knee on belly and secure your favorite knee on belly control. You can also execute just a basic near side knee pass from Toreando control. Just come down to a combat stance, underhook your opponent's leg, fall to your knee, underhook their head, and step back. Now you can release your foot from their inside of their thigh, switch your hips. Lastly, pummel for the far side underhook for far side head and arm control. Cartwheel pass. This works great if your opponent is kind of being lazy in their open guard. Get that first hand on the mat next to their hip, really close, so that you don't have to come back as far for side control. Spider guard, my feet are pushing into my opponent's biceps and I'm pulling at their wrists. You can also do this with what's called a lasso, where I'm over my opponent's arm. Here are some of the attacks you can do: triangle chokes, omoplatas, things like that, just demoing some of the techniques. To escape spider guard, I roll my opponent to one side, put my foot inside their knee to push out the first hook, and then I just kind of turn my hips away to get the second hook out. We also just scratched the surface on some De La Hiva techniques. My default De La Hiva position, I have the De La Hiva hook, other foot's in the hip for distance management, and I'm securing the near side ankle and cross side sleeve. We can execute a back take from De La Hiva by getting a deep De La Hiva hook, meaning taking my De La Hiva hook and putting it in the far side hip. Once I get that hook in the far side hip, I slide my other foot on top of my leg down to my opponent's knee and flare my knees out to take the back. A variation of this technique would be to secure my opponent's belt on the near side as opposed to their wrist. Similar to the back roll sweep, we can execute a balloon sweep from De La Hiva. To execute the balloon sweep, I actually have the same side wrist, cross-side collar grip, my De La Hiva hook, my foot in the hip pushes up, and I roll back right to mount. From that same cross-collar grip, if my opponent comes down to a combat stance, I can hit a triangle real quick in transition. As my opponent comes down, I throw the leg across, pull the arm across, and lock up the triangle. To escape our opponent's De La Hiva, a good option is to go for a leg drag. To start, I can turn my knee slightly out to remove the De La Hiva hook. I use both hands to secure my opponent's pant leg of the foot that's on my hip. I pull it back and step back, pull it around, and then sit on top of it with my body to hold it in place. I underhook that top leg, put my hand on the mat over the bottom leg, and move around to side control. Another popular option from De La Hiva guard is to come up to koala guard. To get to koala, I push with my foot just above my opponent's knee and pull myself up. From here I can execute the roll under sweep. To execute the roll under sweep, I'm just going to pass my sleeve grip to my other hand that's behind the leg. I roll with my hand behind their leg and pass to side control. I can pass my opponent's koala guard with a leg whip pass. I secure the far side knee behind my opponent's collar with the other hand. I lift my leg up, around, and out, outside their hip, and take side control. I can also use this to execute a rolling omoplata. From the same grips, I whip my leg out. I reach in with my hand to secure their elbow so it stays in place as I roll forward for the omoplata. We also briefly covered reverse de la Hiva. To switch from de la Hiva to reverse de la Hiva guard, I switch my grip. I remove my de la Hiva hook and put that foot in the hip, take my foot from the hip and make a reverse de la Hiva hook, and then secure the ankle. To tighten up the reverse de la Hiva guard, I scoop my hips out and to the side, and so my leg makes more contact. I can also do a roll under back take from reverse de la Hiva. From reverse de la Hiva, I put the back of my hand, slide it in front of my opponent's foot, release the grip, roll under, grab my opponent's other leg, use my knee in the back of their knee to push, pull with my hand, pull myself up with my opponent's belt, and secure a seatbelt.